Welcome along to EXFL Tier 2 Season 12. We are here for round 5 out of 20. We're here at Suzuka. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. We have 16 drivers in at the moment. They're waiting 2 more to join in qualifying of Yonda and Dello. And it is an overcast qualifying, but I believe it's dry, yeah. Just some people heading out on the inters, just getting a taste for the track, I guess. I'm going to quickly send the link to the chats. No talk, yeah, if it's a dry or wet race. There we go. Right. 16 minutes then. People heading out on their out laps. No one's begun their lap time yet. There's a Red Bull heading around the final corner of AP Cookster. So, in the white Red Bull as well, to support the white special livery they used last year in real life at this very track. So it's very fitting that Cookster's got the livery on. I'm sure when Dello joins, as Yonda joins now, Dello said he'll join at the end of quali. I'm pretty sure he'll just be in his normal Red Bull. But yeah, AP Cookster then heading through the iconic, fabulous S section in the first sector split. He's been pretty consistent so far this season, getting some decent points on the board. He'll be hoping to maintain that and climb further up. 32-0 is the first sector split then. I'm sure by the end of quali we'll be seeing maybe 31 6s, 7s, I don't know. But yeah, as he locks up into the hairpin, we'll see. Because I think he was doing a really strong race in the first race, and then obviously it just didn't end up well for him. 5-place grid penalty for Will Bernard for a collision with Ridian. I think that's the second week in a row now the Haas has been involved in an incident. Last week wasn't his fault, because he was the one who... It was Bluey who got the 5-place grid penalty for hitting... Whoa! As Maxwell Senna gets another 5-place grid penalty for hitting Ridian, and he's hit him again. Do not know what on earth is happening there. But yeah, last week Bluey hit him, got a penalty. We looked at it, obviously Bluey's fault. And this week, I think a bit of karma or something on his part. But yeah, Cookster set the first lap time. Then Cow has gone 6/10 behind him. Deadgun, who's making his first appearance this season, he rejoined the league after racing a season or so ago. Actually only 9/10 off. That's not too bad for him, considering he was... Well, when he first joined, he was about 3 or 4 seconds off the pace all the time. He was always lapped 2 or 3 times every race. So yeah, to be within a second of people like Cookster and Callum and Joe, that's actually very impressive from Steppen. So yeah, he stepped up. That's good to see. Josh up in third on the mediums. Callum on the softs. Obviously did the first race. Whoa, getting very close to that Williams of... Is that Samurai? Yeah. I think it may have just impeded him. Yeah, he got third place in the opening round, but I don't think it's raced since then. I'm going to quickly message Will, because I need to know what on earth was that. So Yannick's gone 3 thousandths behind Grush, who's now at the top of the table. After missing last week's race, he's back at the front then, nearly 6/10 clear of Cookster. So 28.5 is time to beat. He's been dropped down to third in the standings by this man, Oren, in the pit lane still, the winner for the last 2 weeks. And yeah, as much as qualifying is always exciting in Tier 2, so far this season, no one has converted pole position into victory. It wasn't even until last week where we saw Toby, who took his maiden pole in his fourth race here today, who managed to finish P2 after that unfortunate coming together with Ocean Blade, who has left the league. We did penalise him, but he decided to leave. And if he ever repeats anything, he probably would have been kicked. But yeah, Toby probably may have won that race, may have finished second, but at least he converted pole into a podium. The rest have not even converted it into a top 5 finish. Right, let's get Dello in. There we go. Oh, so Iridium was in AI, and Will lost his head. So Yonder should have picked his car by now, as there's Dello. So with the grid penalties, it looks like Bernard will be starting the race from last. So yeah, apparently, as Cookster improves by, look at that, 6/10 from his first lap to be within 400ths of Grush with just under 11 minutes. So yeah, Ridian was in AI on his exiting the pit lane, and Will ran into him, or it blocked him, or whatnot. So maybe the first grid pen wasn't his fault, but the second one definitely was. Right, Birdie's gone up to 4th after what was a disappointing first race of the season for him last week, after missing the first 3 races, as that's invalidated at the exit of turn 1. I don't know if he's going again. He definitely looks like he's pushing the car, though. He'll want to arrive at Japan definitely more in the rhythm, because it looked like by the end of the race he had found his groove again, even with some incidents and whatnot on the last lap. So we should be seeing Birdie up there, and at the moment he is. We've got Cal reserving in the McLaren again, as Yannick now goes from 3 thousandths behind Grush to a 10th and a half ahead. So yeah, this is great stuff from the other RB. His teammate Finn missing a second week in a row, the championship leader, by 3 points ahead of Oren. There we go. We have Yonder in the RB and Dello in the red. But we have everyone now as we approach the halfway mark of qualifying. And everything should be sorted. So, who's on a lap? Callum and Oren weaving away. Don't know if they're both about to start a lap or both heading into the pit lane. We've got 11 times on the board. Chazef1 has just began his lap, reserving in the Ferrari, heading it down into turn 1 then. Heavy braking zone. Want to keep tight to the left, but also want to get on the power as he goes through the S section now. Left, right, left and right again. Corners coming at you all the time. And you have to dance with the car, be at one with the car, and hopefully not see cars in front of you like that Mercedes of, I think that was Ollie, just getting in his way slightly. But he carries on. It's a 31.9 for the first sector split. Into Degner 1, through Degner 2. Very complicated corners to nail, especially the exit of 2, which he gets right. Down into the up into the hairpin, actually, as he takes it very nicely indeed. Goes slightly wide, gets on the power, blasts his battery, and now you can breathe for about 10 seconds round this long right kink, heading up to Spoon Curve. But it's so easy to go wide, invalidate. But you need to maximise the apex and the throttle on the exit, going very wide, getting the power, using all the track possible to his display. Now climbing up the hill with really only a couple corners left. The 130R isn't really a corner nowadays because you just take it flat through qualifying. It's great to see. Now through the final chicane, it's make or break for the Ferrari. It's been a tidy lap so far, and that's just on the limit of invalidation. He's really pushing out there. Is Chazef1. He'll cross the line. DRS open. It's a 28.3, and he does go to the top of provisional pole. 27 thousandths ahead of Yannick. That was a nice lap from Chazef1 in the Ferrari. Now we see what Oren could do heading around the final corner. The race winner for the last couple of weeks. He's going to cross the line, say 28.0 to put himself now on provisional pole by 0.3 of a second. As Toby went 4th, I think, while all that was happening. So and he's also repping the Cherry Blossoms pink livery for the Haas. Very fitting for the Japanese Grand Prix. So Cal is just doing the start-finish straight around where Grush is exiting the pit lane. Will heading into turn 1 as Grush just getting out of the Haas car's way. Doesn't seem like he'll have much traffic, but that is not the greatest turn 1 exit from the Haas car, who I think said he would be struggling today. Right, everyone's in. I'm going to turn my phone off so I can actually concentrate. So, after all the improvements, Dead Gun is now 2 seconds off the pace. Again, it's still an improvement. We've got Samurai down in 13th, I've just realised, who usually does do not the best first run, but then he immediately does another run again. And at the moment, it says he's 2 seconds up after, I think, the first sector. So I think he did get impeded by Ollie a few minutes ago in the Mercedes, who's just in front of him. Someone's just gone up the table. It's Seb in 8th place, who's been promoted fully to the Mercedes outfit now. And the other Mercedes of Ollie goes 7th, and we'll see what Samurai can do. Exiting the final corner, looked a bit squirrely. Line of least resistance for the Williams, 28.1, and he goes 35 thousandths off Oren. That's a great time then from Samurai. Game on at the top. Williams versus Aston. It's like last season. And obviously RB are no stranger to also getting in the fight. Like we saw in Season 9, RB versus Aston last season at the start. Williams versus Aston. So reminisce, but I think the lap of quali so far is from Chaz F1, up in 3rd at the moment. That's great to see. Cookster, if he is on a lap, has just gone a bit wide at turn 1 there, but he dives on. Birdie's been dropped down to 11th now. Callum, I believe, is now on a lap, halfway done with his. Josh Hewitt, definitely not on a lap. So Will went 14th. He's in the pit lane. And Dead Gun is out there for another run as well. Ridian's got the slowest time at the moment, but I believe that was on the intermediate tyres. And the two who joined in qualifying are still have not set a time on the board, but Yonder's about to begin a lap, and Delo's still in the pit lane. Like I mentioned, every pole that so far this season has not been converted into a win. The best is by Toby last week for P2. The rest, not even in the top 5. Delo's been a pole sitter this season. So has Oren for the opening round. So was Toby for last week, and so was Grush for Bahrain. So the championship leader of Finn, who has not raced today or last week, hasn't even taken a pole this season, actually. It's been very close at times, up at the front. So Grush, 31.9, he's found a few tenths in that first sector, which I believe was what was lacking. So this will definitely get him up to 3rd at the moment. How much more time has he found as he finishes the second sector split? Half a second. So at the moment, this is going to be the time to beat. But he's got the make or break glass chicane for the McLaren riding on board with him. A simple right-left. Looks like he's taking it quite cautiously, as he knows this is a good lap, and he's probably still got one more to come by the end of quali. Grush crosses the line then, and he actually misses out by 100th of a second on Oren's time, so maybe the last chicane was just a bit too cautious, and the McLaren is only good enough for 2nd at the moment, but very close top 3. Cookster in sector 1 now. So we're looking at high 31s for first sector splits. He's done a 32.0, he's down by half a tenth. Callum, second sector at the moment, just exiting Spoon Curve. Very wide there, somehow just kept that within track limits. Climbing up the hill, finishes the second sector split. He is 3 seconds down, so he's not on a lap. Yonder is right behind him, though, also not on a lap. He's definitely backed off there. So 3.5 minutes to go then. Grush should be able to get into the pits, I think, with enough time. It's a bit close, but everyone else, bar 3 people, are gearing up, exiting the pit lane. That is the Haas of Will Bernard. Same with Yannick. And Grush, he's got 3 minutes on the cards, so he'll get in the pit lane with about 2 minutes 30, 20 and whatnot. That's very touch and go. And I don't even know if he has enough tyres. So that might be Grush done with this session. Or he's fueled enough to go for one more run. So never mind. He's not going to pit. And he's going to go again. I should have remembered that. He's been doing that all season. So, take 2. He knows he just needs to find 100th of improvement. And he can get pole position for the second time this season. Or will it be Oren for the second time this season? Will it be Samurai for the first time since his debut last season in the season opener? So Grush, remember, on used tyres, he did this in Bahrain and took pole. Which was a fantastic effort. But don't rule out Oren, who's definitely got some more time in his sleeve. As I'm sure we'll see ourselves into the 27s soon. Williams gets out of Grush's way. It's looking tidy. He looks focused, and he's on it. He's cleared all the traffic I think he's going to see on his lap. Maybe the Ferrari will come close at the end as he's really pushed, because you can tell he's made a slight mistake there heading into the hairpin. But he dives on, heading into Spoon Curve. Everyone else getting ready for their outlaps. Toby is the last out of the pit lane. Just in front of him is Cookster. Through Spoon Curve then goes the Chrome McLaren. And yonder, 5.2 seconds off. Dello hasn't set a lap time either. So Grush is up by a tenth and a bit. So this is looking tidy for a pole lap. Now he needs to really attack the last chicane. Through right. Then left. Get on the power. Don't invalidate. Get on the power again and cross the line. And this is the time they all have to beat. It's a 1 minute 27.958. We're into the 27s. Grush currently is on pole position, but I'm sure the others are going to definitely try and fight that. Samurai started his final run. Oren's heading through the last chicane now with the Ferrari and McLaren just in front of him. One of those being Chaz F1 and the other being Ollie as he crosses the line then. So, Oren will be one of the last to cross the line. I think Toby will be the last with 36 seconds left on the clock. He's in some traffic. Callum crosses the line, then followed by Birdie, then Ridian and Dello in the last chicane. So, yeah, I think it will be Cookster and Toby then who will cross the line. What about the other Haas car of Will Bernard? As he's seeing all these people about to start their lap time. He knows he's going to start last for this race anyway, so it's not too much of a bother. Toby tries to get out the way or give Will a bit of a slipstream up until the line. Will crosses the line and he goes up to P4. So maybe he won't cross the line, won't start the race last as he retires from the race, from qualifying and gets out of the way of everyone. So now we see what the rest can challenge. The Ferrari of Deadgun will be the next to cross the line. He's up by half a second, but he needs to find 9/10 of improvement to find himself up a place. Deadgun crosses the line then, and he stays where he is. So we have him finished. Dello will start the Japanese Grand Prix from last as we have the Williams of Samurai come around the final corner. He's found a lot of time. Samurai crosses the line and Samurai's now on provisional pole with a 27.7. Brilliant time from Samurai as we see the McLaren of Cow go P10. Here come the Mercedes. Seb goes onto the front row. And what about Ollie? He's invalidated. And now we have a whole influx of cars coming around the final corner. Chaz is down on his lap, crosses the line, stays where he is. What about Oren? He's in the pit lane, so Oren will not take pole position. Grush follows in. We knew that. What about Callum, who crosses the line? He's 1.1 seconds down. Now he goes into the top 10. And now we see Josh Hewitt go up to 6th as Yannick is up slightly. And he's getting a bit of a tow from his teammate of Yonder. And I think Yannick may be the only one to stop him. Or can Toby find a good lap time? At the moment, Samurai's on pole position. Toby crosses the line from 11th, goes up to 7th. What can Yannick do? Never been on pole before. He goes into the top 5. And what about Cookster? He crosses the line. He's P12. Samurai has done it for the second time. It's been quite a while since we've seen him lead a session. But Samurai has taken pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff. There were some great lap times out there. And Seb, the Season 9 champion, has joined him on the front row. That is a great order. Will be very disappointed with that grid penalty. But, I mean, one of them's deserved. One of them isn't. Alright, Grush qualifies 3rd then. Oren just didn't get the lap. He went into the pit lane and he will start 4th, like he did last week. Josh Hewitt's up there in 7th. So the 3 Tier 2 world champions in the top 7. Toby in 8th. Chaz did get a top 10 finish in the end. And Ridian managed to complete the top 10. Birdie down in 15th. That is... I mean, qualifying wasn't ever his strong suit, but that is... He's got a lot of work to do. Another overcast session for the race this time. Holy peak, I've peaked, says Seb. That was actually such a good qualifying session. You didn't know who was... not... Because usually Japan is... There's always one who just seems to be miles ahead of the rest. Like, oh, he's half a second ahead. He's 0.3 ahead. That was anyone's game. And we have a pole sitter that hasn't been on pole for 25 races, I think, now. Since his debut. Samurai starting his 22nd race. I think he missed 2 or 3 at the end of last season. But yeah, it's good to see him back at the front. He's been ever consistent this season. Getting the odd 4th or 5ths or whatnot. But that's great to see him now back at the front. Tyre wear was the issue last season for him. He had to pit twice when others pit once. And that allowed Grush to get his first ever podium. In what was only his 3rd race or something. For Red Bull. So... if Samurai can look after his tyres and have some strong pace, could we be seeing another name being thrown into this championship fight? Oren just needs a top 8 finish to become the new championship leader. However, Grush is not too far behind, and he could also do some damage to that gap he has to the Aston. Formation lap begins then. And let's see what tyres everyone's on. So, Samurai leads them away then. We got the Mercedes of Ollie wanting to join his teammate heading into turn 1. So, Samurai, 7 Grush on the medium tyres. Oren and Josh have opted for the hard compound tyres. Same with Deadgun right at the back. Birdie is the only one on the soft compound tyres. He wants to gain some positions right at the start. He's been promoted up a place, as has everyone around him, because of, obviously, Webinard's 10th-place grid penalty. The Alpine of, I think that was Ridian. Yeah, it definitely was. Look at his tyres cutting across the track there. So, yeah, if Josh and Oren can at least maintain position, I think that would be good, as that's the Aston of Oren taking the lead on the formation lap. A lot of antics today compared to the past few weeks. Obviously, the first 4 races all had full grids. Today we have 18. It's still great. But it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, for Samurai, he's obviously going to hope that whole pole not converted to win so far this season streak ends with him today. But there are going to be some quick cars behind him. So yeah, Callum got promoted up into the top 10 after the grid pens. And yeah, I mean, it's saying possible race strategies a 2 or a 3 stop. Honestly, it's still the 1 stop. Medium hard, hard medium. I mean, for Birdie, soft hard. I don't know if that's going to be possible for him. Maybe. Ridian did it in Bahrain, so. But yeah, what can Dello do? What can Yonder do? Because Yonder's started at the back twice so far this season and has finished 7th and 8th, I believe. He's a real good driver when it comes to making his way through the pack. And as for Dello, we haven't seen too much of when he started at the back. He's managed to be right up there in the front because usually he qualifies decently. So yeah, Dello. Oh, also in the white Red Bull. I thought he'd be in his normal one. But like Cookster, both Red Bulls supporting the white livery for the Japanese Grand Prix. That's great to see. So yeah, Dello will be the last one to park his car in position. We got the Alpine getting reset there of Ridian. Blood thinks he has jokes. So, Samurai facing his car slightly to the right to cover off Seb. And we will wait for the 5 lights to go out to signal the start of round 5. It's the Japanese Grand Prix in EXFL Tier 2 Season 12. It's lights out and away we go. Samurai versus Seb, as it looks like dropping down the order is Oren already. Samurai looks like he's going to lead into turn 1, just in front of the Mercedes. Then comes the McLaren, and it's nearly 3 wide for Chaz F1, who's up to P5 already. Then come the 2 Alpines, Ridian, and another great start. Oren with a dreadful start. He's outside the top 10. He's down in 12th. He's got a gaggle of cars right in front of him, scrapping for positions. And it looks like Chaz and Josh are fighting for P5 and 6. Josh Hewitt now ahead of the Ferrari, who's squirming out of the exit of the S's. And we look further back. Dello's made 2 places. Yonder's dropped to last. Samurai then leads. And the top 3 are as they were. Yannick's gained a place. As Callum's also gained 2 places. Birdie's up 4 places, using those softs to great use, riding on board with the Williams. His teammates leading the race. He wants to get up higher into the top 10, making slight ghosting contact with Toby there. And he gets up into P9 now. As Oren versus Cal for P12. So yeah, horrible start for one of the top guys in the championship. And yeah, he's fighting away with the McLaren into Spoon Curve. Oren goes wide on the exit. And can he get the move done? Yes, Cal looks to the inside, but Oren will get the power on. Blast his battery. And looks like he'll stay ahead for now. But Cal's in the slipstream, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. And speaking of wheel to wheel, I thought I was going to see Ridian and Chaz there. Looking further back then. So Oren staying ahead of Cal for now. As we head into the S section up in front. Cookster versus Toby, who has to get go off the track. He gets a penalty. That will probably get removed if he doesn't get 3 warnings or less during this race. Cookster might get a pen for that. As Orange dropped down to 16th now. As Birdie makes another place. Action everywhere you look. Birdie's nearly halved the field from where he started. And Orange dropped down to last. What is happening with the Aston Martin? As Will gets past Cal. Up into 12th. Gets a bit of a touch from Ollie behind. So Dello's gained 3 places. Yonder's stayed where he was after all that. Samurai then leads. Biggest gainer on this opening lap. It's obviously Birdie, who's up 6 places. Will's up 4. Dello's up 3. And yeah, brilliant stuff from a lot of the drivers there. Obviously, biggest loser, unfortunately, is Oren. I do not know what on earth has happened to him, as going into the gravel is Dead Gun fighting away with Yonder. Nose to tail for a lot of the drivers. Samurai is getting on with it, though. Let's enable everything. There we go. Wow, chaotic opening lap like usual. Action everywhere. Overtakes everywhere. As Droosh struggling to stick within a second of Seb, who's sticking nicely to the back of Samurai. And he's not even burning that much battery. We know Samurai's great with his battery. And at the moment, he's doing great in the lead. Through 130R then for lap 2. Ollie fighting away with Cal. It's a Cal for the 2nd lap in a row at 130R. Is he going to go around the outside as Birdie and Ridian are fighting? And there's an incident with Birdie. And Ridian gets a time penalty. So there clearly was contact. As that's Will. 2nd Haas for the 2nd lap in a row. Going across the final chicane. Fighting away with Cookster. As we see a 3-way fight here. Birdie, Callum, and Toby to the inside. Toby's now getting his elbows out as Callum goes off the track. And he rejoins in P10. So a lot of people getting their elbows out. So, yeah, Birdie was making his way up through the field. Must have hit Ridian. Like, maybe gone for a send. That sent Ridian off the track. Got a time penalty that I'm going to guess will be removed. Or it's unfair, at least. Birdie spun. Was ghosted. Callum hit him. Going wide there. And following him is Cookster drifting across into Degner 2. And Cal will pick up a position. And so will Dello. That was a bit of a save from Will. That was a crazy save from Cookster there, as it's all happening right at the back in the midfield. As Cookster's dropped down to P16. Yonder, Ollie, Dello and Cal. Big train here at the back. Chaos. It's crazy. We love it. As so yeah, I wonder if Birdie, that was all inflicted by him, as Chaz and Ridian are now fighting. Ridian's on the grass, and they're going to go nearly side by side through 130R. Ridian versus Chaz. It looks like, I think Ridian's trying to get the move on the Ferrari. They're still going side by side. Chaz turns in slightly, but gets the move done. Ridian's going for a beautiful switchback, gets on the power, they wheel bang, and they're still going side by side. And here, joining the party, is Bernie Saints, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, blasting his battery, gets past Chaz, now trying to get past Ridian. Ridian squeezes him to the inside. Bernie Saints gets the move, but Ridian goes wide after a bit of contact, getting tagged with his rear. Birdie's up to 6th. And Chaz lives to fight in 7th, and Ridian now has to pick up his pieces. Wow. The top 5 streaking away then after all that battling. But Birdie on those softs, they're not dead yet. And he's pulling away from Chaz and going to try and join the pack for the top 5. But yeah, carry on for what I was trying to say. It looks like he spun. Somehow Callum didn't take him out because he was ghosted, yet he still hit a ghosted car. And it's crazy. Oren's got it all to do. He was last at one point. Let's see where he is after lap 27. Going off there is Cookster once again. He does not like this section of the track, it seems. And yeah, wow. So Seb closing the gap slightly to Samurai, who's just keeping his battery at bay. Grush watching this all unfold. Same with Yannick, same with Josh. Josh Hewitt, who's entered every single race this season. He's retired from them all. So maybe today can be the first time he not only finishes, but gets his first points on the board, because every point for Alpine has gone to Ridian so far. And this might be the first lap without any chaos. Room to breathe. Will's a bit on his own, as Dello's got a big train behind him. So 2 people with time penalties, and I'm pretty sure both of those are unfair. Both happened at this last chicane, as Chaz just missed out on DRS there. So Toby blasting his battery. Looks like he's going to try and get the Ferrari. Goes to the left after Chaz defends. Really tries to defend. He nearly whacked him going back left, as Toby's got the place then. No changes up at the front, as Birdie has towed Toby, Chaz, Ridian and Callum back into the DRS train for all of the top 10. Like I said, Will is on his own, and then Dello's got a big train all the way down to 16th, and looks like Cookster and Deadgun are struggling. Let me take a quick drink. We resume then on lap 5 into the hairpin. What is Seb's game plan then? Is he just going to look after the tyres, or is he going to try and fight Samurai? Even though there's a few overtaking spots on this track, it is still difficult. He has got the DRS though to his advantage, but Samurai's got plenty of battery to use as a defence. Seb has to get close after 130R into the chicane. This looks to be one of the closer times he's seen that Williams rear wing. And Grush just biding his time. They know they need to look after their mediums. And bit of a dark horse at the moment. Josh Hewitt on the hard compound tyres. And Birdie's on the softs. That's cool. If he sticks with these guys, later on he could definitely be within a shout of a fight. Birdie now gets a time penalty. That might be the first actual penalty, as Yonder and Cal fighting side by side through 130R into the chicane, leaves him the space, and looks like Yonder's got the place, as I think Cal may have got a slight tap from Ollie, who loses the car, and now Ridian's got past Chaz into turn 1, as they've lost the pack at the moment, but Ridian's making his move back on the Ferrari, and Callum watching this unfold, as everyone else behind stays where they are. Ollie looking for a little bit of a send on Cal. Ollie and Oren, the 2 friends. Apparently Oren Oren joined really late in the lobby, because apparently Ollie and 2 others were just spamming him with that many invites that his PC broke or shut down or something. So Ollie, I was just about to say Josh Hewitt needs to make sure he doesn't get penalties, because that has been one of his biggest weaknesses this season. And he's just got one. But yeah, Oren probably not in the best mindset heading into this race like he has been for the past couple of weeks. Deadgun has got a penalty now. Oren has got past Ollie. So yeah, at the moment, top 3 where they were. Yannick struggling to keep within DRS just there, so now he has to blast some battery. Grush not deciding to. The detection point is here on the exit at 130R. There's the white line, so he's definitely going to get it. So looks like Ridian has got back within a second. I think he got DRS to make the top 10, still pull away from the rest. Yes, he did. So we see all of the top 10 all in one shot there. We see the Williams of Birdie on the back of Josh. Is he going to try and send it to the inside? No. He stays behind for now, and those softs are going to be falling off compared to Josh's hards, which shouldn't be anywhere near falling off at the moment. And yeah, like I said, Will, unfortunately, on his own in P11, he's going to need to hope for something ahead to happen. We have not had a single safety car so far this season. We've had one VSC back in Saudi, I think, when someone clipped the turn 4 wall maybe like 10 laps into the race, and that was it. And considering, you know, we've had 98 people race in the first 5 races collectively and not a single safety car, it's kind of mad. But yeah, Ollie, look at the dust lines on the exit of Degner 2 from all the cars. As yeah, Ollie's struggling now with a time penalty. Usually before a lot of races I say what's going to be important in a race to decide if you do well or not. Time penalties, as much as they always are going to decide stuff, I don't think that's going to be the case as much. And I haven't even really talked that much about tyre wear, even though that is a bit more important. It's genuinely just going to go down to outright pace, I think, today. And, well, just confidence as well. Just the control you have through some of these corners. That's a bit of grass being kicked up by Samurai. I was about to say, at the moment, the one most in control is Samurai, but at the moment, on lap 8, it looks like he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure as Seb is just biding his time, as Birdie has got past Josh Hewitt, and close behind is Toby, also trying to get past the Alpine, forces him slightly off there, and they're going to go wheel to wheel through the S section, and Toby getting his elbows out once again, barges the Alpine and gets up into 6th place. He has been not in the greatest of moods in the last week after Qatar and after the first few laps, so he's definitely getting on with it, and Ridian has watched that all unfold. So yeah, Josh has dropped 2 places, and yeah, Birdie up to 5th now, but on the softs, so the longer he can go into this race, the more he can make the 1 stop possible. Callum now gets past Chaz, who I think has just made a mistake there. And yeah, the top 10 are starting to divide. The top 4, and then the next 4, and then Callum and Chaz. But obviously, these 4 all have time penalties. And as soon as I say that, Birdie's dragged everyone nearly back within a second already. Pit stop window should be opening maybe in about 2 or 3 laps. I'd say lap 10 is really the earliest you can go, but to be safe, I'd say 11. But yeah, lap 12 is the most ideal, I'd say. 12 or 13. Seb looks pretty close this time round. But as Samurai has used quite a bit of battery. As we got a yellow right at the back. It's Cow who carries on then. Chaz with a time penalty now. As Samurai is blasting and Seb is not deciding to attack at the moment. Grush is keeping him hot on his toes. Seb goes slightly wide there. I don't know if that was due to the dirty air or his inputs. But at the moment they stay how they are. Ridian has dropped down the order because he's into the pit lane. As Cow will follow him as well. He's got wing damage. And Deadgun follows him in as well. So yeah, things getting a little nervy. Cow decides to retire from the race, which is really unfortunate. So he becomes the first retirement. Hopefully that doesn't mess up Deadgun. I don't think it should. Oh yeah, this is the only track where in terms of the real life teams, they're at the end of the pit lane, not the start. I can't really remember any other pit lane doing that. So yeah, I have to remember that. So yeah, Deadgun didn't get messed over, because sometimes there is a glitch. We had it in Vegas last season. So, Birdie, 9 laps in, still looking okay. Josh Hewitt needs to get a move on with those hards now. It's a few laps too late from when he should have started to climb up the order. Callum has dropped the pack. Looks like Chaz is race pace at the moment. Or maybe it's just outright just comfortableness on this track, because it looks like he's struggling. As Will has now come under pressure from a big train behind. Dello and Yondo, who started on the 9th and final row, making their way up, looking for points finishers now. As they're knocking on Will's doorstep. As into the pit lane comes Birdie then. Gets it stopped. All well and good. So he will pit onto the hards. How much will this undercut favour him? And how much will he be struggling at the end compared to the rest? So we see more battles behind. Oh my god, that's a lot of cars. As Will has gapped everyone within 1 chicane by a second somehow. I think someone pitted. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much happening. Anyway, Birdie exits the pit lane. Josh Hewitt is doing a 2-stop. My mic isn't going to pick up the face palm, but wow. Okay. Ridian slides out of the first corner, astounded by the interesting strategy decision taken by his teammate to not go long into the race, then put mediums on, do the 1-stop, and be quick. He's doing a 2-stop. Okay. Anyway, Oren gets past Dello. These two were fighting for the lead a few weeks ago, fighting for P10 at the moment. So Oren getting on with it after being P18 at one point is back up into the points. Obviously a few people behind have pitted, but we'll see. Chaz is back ahead of Callum, so they're fighting away, but they are 5 seconds now behind the rest, who are all nose to tail nearly. Toby's been brought along into this nicely after a few others in front of him have pitted, and he's got good pace, remember, during this stage of the race. He's had quite a few comeback drives. Now, who's into the pit lane? It's Samurai, the first to blink. He does not want to get undercut. So, on lap 11, he is in. That allows Seb to lead the Grand Prix, and he's lucky he has DRS, otherwise Grush may have just overtaken him there. As Samurai puts the hard compound tyres on, we exit the pit lane. Toby got close to Yannick as well. And now we see where Samurai is compared to his teammate of Birdie. The two Williams, as Samurai is exiting the pit lane now. There's Birdie coming down the start-finish straight. This is going to be close between the two Williams cars, but I think Samurai is just going to be ahead of his teammate. His new teammate, who he hasn't seen all season on track, now is right in his wing mirrors. As, Birdie on more warmer tyres could try and get Samurai, but through the S section, it's going to prove very difficult indeed. But, Williams, who were the star team last season, winning the Constructors quite comfortably with Kobe and Samurai. Birdie has jumped ship from Alpine to join the race winner. And third in the championship sitter last season. And now, they got to get on with it. As the two Williams have both Alpines right behind them. So, what will the rest do? Will they all come in the pits this lap? Do any try to extend? Yonder's a bit on his own now. That means Will must have pitted, which he did for hard compound tyres. Deadgun put mediums on, so he's doing a 2-stop. I mean, I'm surprised a bit with Deadgun's increase of pace, but it's still unfortunately not quite there. So, the top 4 stay out, actually, and now Grush sees an opening to take the lead easily from Seb. Really putting his tyres to good use. And if he is going to pit this lap, he's definitely pushing them to the limit to make the most of it. So, we look back to the Williams. Is there going to be a swap heading into turn 1? Remember, Birdie started P14, remember. As that's Oren getting past... that's Dello getting... I don't know. Oren getting past Dello, yeah. As I think we're going to see a swap, but not with the Williams, with the two Alpines. Ridian's ahead of Josh now. So, Birdie is ahead of Samurai. Apology. Birdie is ahead now of his teammate. As it looks like he's got good pace. And yeah, that's going to be interesting at the end. Samurai started on pole, and his teammate, who started... Oh, as we have a yellow. Oh, that's a yellow in front of Ollie, who's gone around. And has he got wing damage, or has he just spun? I think he's just gone away. But that's gonna really disrupt his race. It's really only 1 lap difference. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Birdie, who started P14, is currently in the net lead. He's 18 seconds off the leaders. Another yellow. And I believe that may be Ollie again, who's spun. Get it back on track. Carry on, mate. Try and go to the end. If not, retire. But at the moment, the top 4 still within DRS of one another. Grush has got on with it. And will this be the lap they all decide to pit? Going any longer might seem a bit futile now. So Grush pits, Seb follows him in. Yannick stays out, and so does Toby. So because Yannick has DRS, he should be able to stay ahead of the Haas heading into turn 1. And he does. Toby with that dirty air, compromised slightly. Yonder stays out. Grush and Seb decide to pit then. And Cookster comes into the pit lane. That's actually, I think, held up Samurai, because there's quite a gap between the two Williams now. And obviously Seb and Grush were going to come out behind them. They've come out behind the two Alpines as well. So they got a few laps better advantage. But at the moment, it looks like Samurai's struggling as Ollie speeds into the pit lane. Samurai 1.4 seconds now behind Birdie, who's getting on with it. And Samurai, as much as he may be looking after his tyres, maybe he's looking after them a bit too much. Or maybe he just doesn't have the pace at the moment to match his teammate. Birdie Saints, who started P17 last season in Singapore, won the race on track but got a penalty in the dying stages of the race that cost him not even a win, but a podium as well, and dropped into P4, denied him his first ever victory. He's only ever had 1 podium in Tier 2. He became a front force driver at the start, at the middle part of last season, and we expected him frequently to be at the front. this season, he's missed the first 3 rounds. Last week wasn't exactly the race you'd expect from him, but now he's got the gears turning. He's right back where he used to be at the end of last season, and could today be the day we see Birdie Saints become an EXFL Tier 2 race winner? At the moment, he is going to be P1 after all of the pit stops, and he's really getting on with it. He's got the gap to his teammate, who can do a good job to defend from those behind, if he himself doesn't have the pace. Yannick and Toby into the pit lane then. Dello, 10-second time penalty for speeding. Really unfortunate for the Red Bull. So Oren and Yonder are staying out. Yonder's done very well on those mediums. As Samurai's under pressure from Ridian. He has to go round the outside of the Williams, who goes deep onto the curb, leaving him space. Ridian round the outside has got ahead of the Williams. What a beautiful move from the Alpine. Samurai gave him the trust, gave him the respect, gave him the space, and Ridian really took full advantage of that. There's an incident between Chaz and Toby, I think, then, as they're the two recovering back onto the track. That's allowed Will to overtake them both. Toby not having the race he would have wanted, like last week, in the first half at least. So yeah, that's the Ferrari and Ferrari customer coming together. Then the 2 Red Bulls, then the other Ferrari of Deadgun. Ollie has decided to carry on. Chaz now gets another time penalty. So what does Oren do? He's... Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, we got a yellow. I was going to say, has Oren pitted? Oh, no. Now Will's had a moment. Oh, Will's had another moment as he's lost his wing. As, yeah, he was ahead. Now he's back behind. And an average race has not gone too well for him as we approach the second half of the race. Has he gone in AI, or is he just slowing down? Because he is holding Dello up. Yonder into the pit lane then. And Oren will now become the new race leader. Birdie, 2.1 seconds ahead of Ridian, who's half a second ahead of Samurai. Josh Hewitt making it an Alpine sandwich. That's Chaz going across the gravel. I thought I heard something. 10-second time penalty for the Ferrari. Toby has to get out of his way. Okay, everything's going on. Clearly. Please just press retire at this rate. Saves me time. So, yeah, Ridian has good pace at the moment. And considering he has fresher tire... Wait, no, he doesn't. He has even older tyres than Birdie. That's going to be interesting. So, yeah, everything's going well for Birdie. Oh, how have I just not realised this? Birdie's got a 3-second time penalty now. Through all that chaos, I must have missed it. So Will's changed his wing, put new tyres on. So yeah, Birdie's got a 3-second time penalty now. That really does throw a spanner in the works of his race, because I believe Ridian's time penalty is not, not valid, not fair. I guess that's the word. Yeah, because obviously he got sent across the track with Birdie, I believe, actually earlier in the race. So Samurai's doing a good job. Josh will have to pit again. Seb and Grush. Seb's got back ahead of Grush as well. So they will be closing in, and so will Yannick as well. And Toby was with these guys, but obviously had an incident with Chaz, so that's ruined his race. And Oren still staying out, maybe for a safety car. They're going to catch him soon, and he's going to have to pit soon anyway. Well, there's no changes at the moment for the top 8. I'm going to quickly check Ridian's warnings. You got one last lap. Exceeding track limits. Exceeding track limits. Exceeding track limit. Oh, I thought he got an instant 3-second penalty. And now on lap 15, he's got another one. So, as Chaz now gets a time penalty and retires in the pit lane. Unfortunate way to end his race. It was looking good at the start, but it just went further back, unfortunately. So, Ridian's gone off once, which we saw that maybe looked unfair, and that's when he got the 3-second time penalty. However, there are 3 other separate occasions where he's got a warning. So I'm now unsure if Ridian's penalty is legit or not. At the moment, I think it might be. And usually during races, I always have to go off the fact that they are legit. Unless I 100% know. So Samurai at the moment is still looking decent. And if Birdie's pace starts to fade, And these lots start to close in. Samurai's still looking good to win this race. So yeah, birdie and 3-second time penalties costing him race victories is a story that's going to continue at the moment. Oren pits from the lead then on lap 17 for mediums. He's going to come out way down the order, but he is going to be the quickest car on track. That's Seb getting past Josh Hewitt. And Grush now has to try and get past the Alpine, who's going to pit soon. How long does he have to start? 7 laps. He pitted on lap, I think, 9 or 10, as he's really struggling. And that's going to free up Seb, I'm sure. Don't count him out, considering he's on the freshest tyres now at the top 4. And if Seb overtakes Samurai, that could be a race-winning move if Ridian and Birdie's pens don't get removed. I don't see why Birdie's would, unless he's also had an unfair one. There could be a few changes after this race in post-stewarding before next week's race, which is Imola, actually, as that's Josh really struggling, holding Grush up as Seb's getting away. We got yellows. That's the Haas of Toby. Haas having a nightmare of a race. Toby decides to give up by pressing the retire from session button, which isn't really allowed, but yeah, he's not happy, and he's had it with today, it seems then. Looking further back then. Grush just saving his battery. He knows he'll probably get Josh on the start-finish straight, unless Josh pits, which will be kind of infuriating. Yannick has joined these guys as well. Yannick trying to overtake Grush. Can't find a way past. Josh parking the bus. Grush is going to get past. Yannick round the outside. Tags Josh. Where's Yannick gone? He's there, right with Grush. I thought he got sent as Fanatic's had enough. He's left. 18 laps of watching was nice. But yeah, Josh Hewitt getting nearly sent there. Good to save the car. I actually don't know if that was Yannick's fault or not. As Samurai gets back in front of Ridian to make it a Williams 1-2 again on track. As yonder fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Yannick's got past Grush now. So yeah, that lap spent behind Josh has really freed up Seb. So Oren is going to score points, but he's under pressure from Dello. He's got that time penalty, remember. Dello goes around the outside, but he goes wide and off the track. I don't know if Oren did force him off, but he's gone off himself. As that was really goofy, but yeah, Dello rejoins. And, well, they've both lost a lot of time from that. I'm pretty sure Oren didn't hit Dello there, but looked like he just went off himself. So, again, yeah, the 130R thing between Yannick and Josh. I think Yannick left Josh room. Josh may have just understeered into him. Or maybe Yannick did cut him off. I don't know. Either way, they've got to push on now. Seb closing the gap to Ridian. Let's have a look at tyres. So, yeah, easily the freshest tyres of the top 4. And Yannick's actually 1 lap fresher than that. So, who knows who's going to win this Grand Prix. Samurai is closed back up to Birdie then. Looks like Birdie's really pushing his tyres at the start of stints like we saw with the softs. And we've got another yellow. And I'm going to start placing bets soon if it's a white dot that goes off. So, Samurai now sees his teammate in front. And because they're teammates, how much defence will Birdie put up? He's in none. He's got 100%. He's allowing Samurai to get close. But is he got close enough? Yes, he has. Samurai's back into the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix as we see Grush get ahead of Yannick. And now Samurai is in the winning position on track and after all the penalties. Yonder fighting away with Callum for P7. And now I'm sure Birdie's just probably going to park the bus. Ridian can try all he might, but considering he's also got pretty old tyres in the context of everyone else's tyres, but he's got the oldest, so yeah. It's going to be down to how quickly Seb can overtake these guys. Seb, who was reserved for the first few races, finally got promoted to Mercedes, but has not scored a point yet. He caused that incident in Bahrain, still managed to come back to finish in the points, but due to the penalties, dropped him out of it. Not scored a point yet. But in the first race with a full-time seat, the Season 9 Tier 2 champion, at the moment, looking good for a podium minimum, could even get a win. Yellows. Oh my god, it's not a white car for once. It's Josh Hewitt, who's also decided to press the retire from session button. As you can clearly see, the blue dot carrying on. So then there were 14. Birdie's still doing well to keep within a second of Samurai. Does Samurai keep Birdie close, or does he pull a gap? We'll see. Birdie saving a ton of battery on 100% compared to Ridian, as he's got double of what Seb has. Birdie going slightly wide there. So it looks like Samurai is, at the moment, doing a good enough job to keep Birdie within a second. Ollie now gets a time penalty. And at the moment, Cookster's going to take that 1 point from Dello. Oren's got to get a move on as well. What did I say? He needs a top 8 finish, as Will now gets a penalty. Oren needs a top 8 finish to take the lead in the World Championship. He's trailing Finn by 3 points at the moment. Where Oren's finishing, Finn will be 1 point ahead of Oren. And they will still be the top 2 in the championship, I believe, because Grush is not on the podium at the moment. But due to the penalties ahead, maybe. It's going to be close. I need to relook at it. But yeah, Oren probably will hunt down Callum, maybe. Or maybe Callum will give the place up. Yellow for the Red Bull of Dello. Now he's lost his right end plate. A lot of drivers making mistakes at Degner 2 on the exit. Seems like that curb really is sending quite a few. He lets Cookster go, gets that point. He was going to get it anyway. And yeah, very disappointing day for Dello. Started last, and at the moment, it's not going to be any points. However, Yonder, 3 out of 3 at the moment. Started right at the back, is running in 7th. It's great stuff from the RB. Anyway, Grush and Yannick have joined the party now, all led by Birdie, who's really let Samurai go and has got the batteries, playing the game as Dead Gun exits the pit lane, and he's got enough to just hold on. He knows exactly what to do, holding the inside line. Last season, he was thwarting a Williams. This season, he's joined Williams, and he's still carrying on fair as hell with the antics. And yeah, Samurai has now decided this is a good point to pull away. Let the rest struggle. Birdie knows exactly what to do. Have 100% battery, blast it all, and hope Ridian can't get close enough. And if they do, just pray and hope it doesn't end in contact. And this is going to be annoying Seb. Chance at victory. Falling ever further away due to Samurai. Getting ever more further into the distance. Dello serves his penalty. Allows Ollie up into 11th. %. So what does Ridian do? He needs to be smart here. He needs to start trying new things. Does he try and attack Birdie here instead of the start-finish straight? He's blasting his battery. And Birdie is not. And so Ridian turns it off. Does he try and get DRS and overtake Birdie into the last chicane and then pull away? Is that what Ridian's going to try and do? To the inside goes the Alpine. Birdie plays fair, but they lock tyres. And Seb watches this all unfold. He's going to switch back Ridian. And not for the first time this race has Ridian and Birdie come to blows. Seb is ahead of Ridian then, but Ridian's fighting back because Seb has no battery. That's close between the Mercedes and the Alpine. Seb fights his way ahead then. I thought Ridian got back in front because Seb's battery is very low, but Seb is ahead now. And even after all that, Birdie hasn't even lost that much to Samurai. Well, okay, now he has. It's like half a second. But now, Seb needs to really save his battery, as Birdie clearly is. You can just see how much time the gap is going up through Birdie playing these games to help his teammate. So, what do we think of that last chicane thing from Ridian and Birdie? Birdie gave him the space. It even looked like Birdie was almost letting him go, but then Ridian went deep. They connected. Then Ridian went wide. Then Birdie went off the track. So I think that may have been a bit of payback earlier in the race when I think Birdie did it to Ridian. Ridian's done it back to Birdie now. I'm sure it wasn't obviously intentional, but that's what transpired between them. Seb not anywhere near Birdie with barely any battery, as Birdie's got plenty. What about Oren? He's really already nearly on the doorstep of Callum. And Yonder, if these guys keep fighting, Yonder could join the party, as that's Dead Gun trying to unlap himself, which I guess he's entitled to do. It might be a bit of an eyesore, but they're pretty separated as they start lap 23. 5 to go then. As we see, that's Yannick very close to Grush. Grush has got no battery. So Yannick's going to try and go around the outside, but Grush has it covered. And Yannick thinks better of it. 2.1 seconds now. So when Birdie decides to blast his battery, he gains so much on Samurai, who must really have high wings. Or something. I really don't know, but it's going to be interesting interviewing whoever is going to be the top 3 at the moment. Yeah, this has been a very close race. The past few weeks, the debate of talk of whatnot, and is there going to be any promotions at the and whatnot. But I mean, when you look at this, who do you even pick out of this? At the moment, everyone right where they are deserves to be where they are, because this is extremely entertaining. But now Seb's got a job to do. Kicks up a bit of grass though. Saves a decent amount of battery. But Birdie, yeah, he's definitely back. Very even distances between them all. Yeah, Seb really just needs to choose to either sacrifice one lap, get his battery really up there, and then full attack, or if he's just going to keep doing this over and over, he needs to really maximise his exits. And Birdie moving to the right to try and break the toe, but look, Seb's just not gaining, it's not enough. Birdie moves back left, he knows he's got the job done on lap 24 into turn 1, and Seb at the moment can't do anything about it. The two Astons swap then, as Oren is up into 8th, so at the moment, Oren will now lead the championship by 1 point ahead of Finn. Yonder is actually going to catch these guys, that's hilarious. That's the Haas of Will, isn't it? Getting lapped. Will thinks he's a part of this. Well, it's going to be slightly distracting for Birdie, as Seb is all over him. Ashley has not taken that curb extremely well, and Ridian now sees this as an opportunity maybe to pounce on the Mercedes, but not quite, as Grush goes defensive on Yannick. I thought they tagged someone, but I think that was Will just getting out of the way. Grush has now tagged Yannick, I think. And now Grush has gone into the wall. He's got wing damage. One of the leading drivers in the championship has come to blows. I think that was with Yannick, because that's who he was fighting. And I really thought someone spun, but Will's still ahead of them all. Wow, that's really unfortunate for Grush. That allows Yonder up into 6th, and now he's on the back of his teammate for this race. So I think Birdie's just been given DRS from Will there, because he was still in front of him when they passed the 130R section. Yes, he has. So that's going to help. Whoa, that's going to help Birdie against Seb, as round the outside goes Yannick on the really struggling Ridian. As they're both flashing, and Yonder can see it, but he's not in any way going to make that 3 wide. Ridian bangs tyres with Yannick to the inside, but Yannick goes round the outside, doing what Ridian did earlier in the races. I think that's Ollie who's gone off in the gravel. Yes, it is. So Yannick is now ahead of the Alpine. His tyres fading, so the tyre wear really was important. Birdie just keeping it perfect at the moment in front of Seb. Obviously that penalty, and I'm sure there'll be a few other things to discuss after the race. Yeah, Ridian under pressure now from Yonder. He's lost a second to the guys in front. He'll still have DRS due to Will. So yeah, we're running out of laps. This race is going by quite quickly. 2 and a bit to go. Will Seb get past Birdie? Does he have to get past Birdie? At the moment, Yannick may even be on for his 2nd podium in EXFL. You know, the only podium, like I was saying earlier, that Birdie got was in Baku last season when Evan won the race, and joining him on the podium was Yannick. And what, 10 races later, 10 or 11, Yannick and Birdie are back at the front. Birdie goes off, whoa, loses the car, somehow keeps it facing forward, but goes deep. And that's going to really help Seb. With his switchback, Seb gets in front of Birdie. Now he's got the DRS, now he can blast it, but when he gets below 10%, is Birdie going to fight back at him? You can see the red light flashing, Birdie's going to pull to the inside, is he far enough alongside for a move? No, but Seb goes deep, Birdie spots his opportunity to the inside, Seb's got the inside line, and at the moment, Birdie round the outside has got the place, but Seb back in front. Amazing stuff from the Mercedes and Williams, nose to tail. Right there, that was absolutely epic from Seb and Birdie. Great respect, great racing from the pair of them. And it ends with Seb in front. Somehow Birdie's still got all 4 tyres left on his wagon. Just going wide there is Will a lap down. Seb's got the place then. And he really had to work hard for that one. as Yannick is under pressure from Ridian. They're getting ever closer into that hairpin. Yes, Yonder runs very wide. As did Grush decide? I think Grush pitted, didn't he? Yes, he did. So that's really messed up his race. That's going to mean Oren beats him in this race. Something I did not think after the first few laps. Wow, that was a battle and a half between Seb and Birdie. You can tell that Birdie's tyres are really dropping off. Same with Ridian's, because now Yannick wants to overtake Birdie and get this podium on track. Samurai's heading through the final chicane for the penultimate time. Birdie this time round doesn't lose the car. Will he even try and get back in front of Seb, who has barely any battery? Can Birdie get back in front as they exit the final chicane and start the final lap? Seb's got to do everything in his disposal to keep P2 on track against Birdie Saints, who's gaining and gaining and gaining, but Seb can't do anything, and Birdie is ahead. Ridian is ahead of Yannick on the final lap. So 2 crucial swaps, and we'll see if they matter in the end, as Yannick is trying to fight back with Ridian. Ridian has the inside. Yannick's trying to do what Birdie did, round the outside. They make slight contact, and Yannick loses the place now nearly to his teammate as they made contact, and Ridian stays ahead for now. The 2 RBs then, side by side. Oren has joined the party now as well, and he sees the 2 RBs right in front of him. Yannick stays ahead of Yonder. Oren's now trying to get Yonder round the outside. Goes Yonder, and Oren, it wasn't enough because Oren's gone into the gravel, and Yonder stays in front for now. You do not want to go side by side through Degner 1 and 2, and that is why. So Yannick has stayed ahead of Yonder, and Yonder has stayed ahead of Oren. Everything happening, and Birdie is still ahead of Seb then, but out in front, Samurai, he's going to do it. He is going to be the first driver in Tier 2 Season 12 to convert pole position into victory. He came under a bit of pressure from his teammate, but it turned out to be more helpful than anything. He goes through 130R around the beautiful Suzuka track with 1 chicane to go. In the background, Seb fighting away with Birdie, but no one's fighting Samurai for the first time since last season on debut. Samurai's going to cross the line. Samurai's a race winner once again. Samurai wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and across the line, we see the rest follow to see our order, and it's going to be Seb and Yannick at the moment on the podium. So the 1-2 from Quali finished 1-2 in the race. It was anything but straightforward for them. Yannick, after starting, I think, 5th, has finished on the podium. Birdie, another 3-second time penalty costs him to finish 4th. What a race from Yonder as well, from the back up to 5th. If he actually bothered with qualifying, he would be right up there. And Oren, even after all that, still finished 6th. Great run from him. Ridian will be disappointed in 7th. Callum 8th to pick up more points for Aston Martin. AP Cooks to 9th. Grush will get P10. Who got the fastest lap? Yeah, I thought it might have been Grush. That was a race and a half. Wasn't the cleanest maybe per se, but still had some incredible battles. And I think, personally, that is the best race of the season so far. That was amazing. Outside the top 10 come Dello, who's parked for some... Oh, he's lost his right tyre. Then Ollie, then Will, then Deadgun. We lost Josh Hewitt, Toby, who both retired on track, and Chaz and Cal, who retired in the pit lane. Samurai has won at Suzuka then. He's back at the front, and he's back in this championship. Last season, he was in it, then fell away. Pace and other weaknesses he's improved upon. Tyre wear and quali pace, and he has maximised this... today. I was going to say this weekend, but yeah, fantastic stuff. And then maybe a little bit of help from Birdie, if it really even was that much. I guess holding Seb and the rest up was the main part. But yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a race. Samurai, Seb, Yannick. I can talk to all 3 of them. That's great. So yeah, I don't know if Ridian or Birdie's time penalties are going to get removed. But we'll see. Birdie's probably won't. Ridian's might. But even if you remove 3 from Ridian, I don't think that... Oh, that... I don't know, actually. We'll see. I'll get the race director anyway. If any of them want to use this, they're more than welcome. If they want to get their own, that's also fine. That's the rest of the order. There we go. Perfect. Right, let's get the top 3 in. Hope everyone watching enjoyed that. That was an amazing race. Right. Samurai. Where's Samurai? Samurai. Oh, actually, I don't know if I could talk to Seb. Quickly message him. Right. We wait for at least Samurai and Yannick to join the party. Whew. There we go. Yannick has joined. Seb is going to join. That's great. Right, we have first and third join the party. I'm going to quickly invite Seb. I think this is his old Xbox account. There we go. Right, we have the top 3 in the party then. Just do a quick audio inclusion. Samurai, are you there, mate?
Yes. Hi.
Have you included your audio?
Yes.
All right. Seb, are you there, mate? Seb, hello? I can hear you. Your name is... Oh, there we go. Have you included your audio?
Yes, I have.
Yannick, are you there, mate?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Have you included your audio?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, let's begin. So, we'll start off with our race winner. Samurai, Martin, you have just won the Tier 2 Season 12 Japanese Grand Prix. It is so good to see your name back at the front ever since your first ever race last season in your debut for the season opener in Melbourne. I'm sure today you must have been thinking back to that and thinking how much better it is to win in a much more competitive field nowadays.
Yes.
So how are you feeling?
It's just so iconic. I mean, I had to do it for my name.
That's perfect. I didn't even clock that. That's amazing.
Yes, I'm also speechless. I'm just so happy. I'm shaking.
Oh, you should be, because it's been a good minute, hasn't it? I mean, the first half of last season, you were fighting Evan and whatnot, and then it looked like it slowly just fell away once Adam and Kobe started to get in, and you were very consistent, few podiums. You've been one of the most, if not are the most consistent driver at the moment for the last season and a bit, and it just wasn't enough at times. You just needed to find some pace, work on tyre wear and whatnot. It looks today like you were flawless, and so you finished third in the championship last season. So you actually went into this season, once all the promotions and whatnot were taken out, as number 1. And so far this season, once again, you picked up the consistency again, but we hadn't quite seen just enough yet. And then today came. How confident were you heading into today?
I was not really confident because I didn't train. I just sat down 1 hour before the race. I just went through 3 rounds. I was like, okay, this setup will be okay, I think. After in qualifying, after my 3rd run, I got second. I was like, wow, this setup is so fast. And I was like, I can do better. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Your second run, I noticed maybe, I don't know if it was like this for you, but your last chicane was a bit hesitant, more cautious, and you went across the line to be 100th off the provisional pole time by Oren at the time. And then when I rode on board with you for the final run, it really did look like you were giving it everything, and you crossed the line to take pole by over a 10th. That must have been a great feeling.
Yes.
But then you just have to... What does it feel like when you have to just kind of ignore those feelings of whatnot? Like, I'm on pole for the first time in a season and a bit, but I have to put all that aside now and focus on the race. Just what goes through your mind when all that goes through? You change any little bits you need to, formation lap time, and then the lights go out.
I was like, how? Because I didn't know how good this setup was, because I just put it together 1 hour before the race, and I was like, how first, and on second thought, I was like, yeah, because it's just wow. I'm speechless. Sorry.
No, it's great. We love to see it. We love to see these moments. So the first half of the race, it looked like you were in great control. Your battery management has always been one of your greatest strengths, and you were keeping Seb at bay. It never really looked like he really tried anything. He never really got close enough per se. And then the pit stops, you decided to pit first. Was that in fear of maybe being undercut, or because your tyres were... Like, how was your tyre wear today in general?
My hearts, my my hearts were, I think, my left front was 86 or
Wow.
something like that. My mediums were, I would say 70. But I planned a two-stop for today because
No.
yes, I was like, I can't do it because I remember last time,
Last season. Yep.
yes, I I thought two-stop work maybe, but I'm fine with one stop. So
The one stop, apart from maybe like Austria and Brazil, is always better if you can manage. And last season, unfortunately, you couldn't. You had to pit at the end, lost the podium to Grush. But this time, perfect. You pitted, and were you surprised to see your teammate was right behind you and then ahead of you?
yes, I was like, how? I didn't know where he qualified, but I was like, what? And after I came out of the pit, I went out in front of him, and we went one lap, and after that, what? Yeah, he took over, and I was like, okay, I don't fight you, go. But yeah, I don't know how he managed everything.
So he started 14th, but he was the only one to start on the softs. So by lap one, he was up to 9th, then 8th and whatnot.
Wow.
He had a few incidents maybe or whatnot, but I didn't fully catch them. So then he pitted first out of the top whatnot. Well, maybe besides the Alpine, but he was ahead of them anyway.
Mhm.
So he pitted maybe a lap or two before you, came out just behind. Obviously, he was on fresher, warmer tyre. You let him go. He pulled away, and then I think in both stints he was doing what maybe you do sometimes, where he's used too much of his tyres and now he's struggling by the end. Because then he fell back. He didn't obviously put up a fight with you. He was in none on 100% when you overtook him. By the way, on the lap, you got him into turn one. You were on like, I don't know, 15, and he was literally. It was obviously a signal like overtake me, and you got him right at the end of the straight.
Yes.
But since then, you never looked back. The gap didn't exactly go mad big, but you kept a decent gap around 2 to 3 seconds. Just kept control while everything happened behind you.
Yeah.
It was mad, but.
Yeah.
What were the emotions and feelings in those final few laps? You're finally back and you're thinking, I'm gonna do this again.
First of all, huge shout out to him, because if he didn't head up the pack and everyone, I didn't think I would be here today. Don't think, because
That's fair enough. Yeah, he definitely helped. Gave it strong showing. It's a great showing. It's the first time you two have been near one another as teammates, and that's a great first impression. Considering he was the one thwarting Williams last season, mainly Kobe, not you. But yeah, it's a big change in pace.
yes.
So the samurai strikes in the land of the rising sun. That's a fantastic statement to put on this entire race. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And on to, I believe it's Imola next. I'm just going to double check. Japan. It is Imola, the final EXFL Imola Grand Prix. What are your thoughts and feelings heading into that one?
Not really great. I mean, I think I have the same as here in Suzuka, because I don't really like that track. But
that's fair.
But who knows?
We shall see. Anything can happen in Tier 2.
Yes.
And I think final thing, you have finally broken. It wasn't really a curse. It didn't last that long. But no pole sitter this season has converted that into victory. You are the first, so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, the first three, none of them even finished in the top 5. Last week, Toby finished second from pole, and then today, yeah, fantastic. So yeah, well done, and we'll move on to our P2 man in the Mercedes, Seb. The Tier 2 Season 9 champion is back. So Seb, you qualified second. How happy were you with qualifying? You said, what was it? I've peaked. So what? Peak of peaked or something? I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I was shouting that I peaked. Coming into this, did fuck all practice, had fuck all pace. Literally haven't touched the game. I've been bum sweating at LMU. I was on LMU before,
Yeah, I did see that.
before even coming on the game. And I mean, loading into quali, I was eating chippy.
So yeah, you were reserving for a few teams here and there in the first few races. Then I think I put you in the Merc last week, and then obviously after I told you you've been promoted full time, because a Tier 2 champion should not be a reserve. Let's be real. So you obviously deserved
That's what I'm saying.
a seat. And the first race where you're a full time driver, he's back. So I mean, you really had to work for it though.
Yeah.
That battle you had with Birdie on, I think it was the penultimate lap, was insane. The trust.
That fucking guy has
gaps.
some things in that engine. Fuck me, man.
So, I mean, Birdie was flawless with his defense, obviously, for Samurai. He was in 100% through the S's, even after, and you were just right on the back of him. I'm sure that must have been slightly annoying. What was the decision process, though, during the race? You didn't decide to attack Samurai in the first half that much, and then you actually decided to go a bit longer than him in the stints. Just what was the decisions through the race for you?
I mean, for literally arguably the first time in my league racing career, I had good tyre wear for once. So when Samurai pitted, I was like, that's weirdly early. I feel like I can extend another 2, which normally I'm the one going in early because I can't save my tyres for shit. So, yeah, I was just able to extend the mediums, and when I was like, because obviously I was in a call with fucking everybody. I think half the grid was in my Discord call. Yeah.
So yeah, then you had to get past a few people, Ridian including, that got you up to third, and then obviously for a few laps you were stuck behind Birdie. Well, actually, Ridian was stuck behind Birdie, and then obviously you were. So you were trying different things. Your battery was, I'll admit, probably one of the lowest of the top, maybe 8, 9, from what I saw.
It's obviously,
and then
you could tell
how much
by how much I was losing.
Sorry, okay.
Like, I had to use all my battery down after coming out of Spoon and then down into turn 1. So
what was the reaction? Yeah, sorry, Karen.
Go on.
No, I'm so eager to see what your thoughts on this is. But what was the reaction when you went through 130R and saw Birdie nearly lost it?
I was screaming something like, "Come to daddy."
And then you got a beautiful switchback on him, but then of course your battery was really low, so Birdie came back at you, and I really thought he was in front of you, and then we cut to turn 1, you're still somehow ahead of him, and then side by side beautifully through the first few bits of the S's, it was awesome, and you finally got ahead. Obviously Birdie got back in front on the last lap. I can
tell you what
that
I
was
screaming easy when I overtook him. It was
Is it
something
suitable?
along.
You're not going to get me banned, are you?
No, it was something along the lines of "suck my big fat dick."
Okay. So I don't know if Birdie's penalty, or Ridian's for that matter, is legit or not. I think. Well,
I mean, I can tell you already. Ridian wants to penalise Birdie.
Yeah. Well, one, Birdie did a few things that race. 2 times to Ridian.
Yeah.
I think one was his fault, one was Ridian's. I don't know. I have to look back. Both happened at the final chicane. Yeah. I think overall you're 100% fine for a podium. So either way, well done.
Thank you.
Big points on the board for Mercedes. First points on the board, I think, actually for Mercedes this season.
Sure it's my first
no,
points
actually
as
no.
well.
Eggy, I think got like 7th in one of the races. But yeah, it's definitely your first points. I was mentioning that how Yeah, again, finally, full-time seat. He's now locked in. And final question, because I know Yannick's been patiently waiting. What are your thoughts on Imola next week?
Shit, mate. I'll be real.
Yeah, fair enough. What was it? Season 9, you and Oren, 1,000th apart in qualifying. Oren got his first pole or whatnot. And I think he won, and then you were... Well, it was a bit of a mad race behind Oren, actually, like second down and 10th or whatnot. You were... Oh, you made a mistake, didn't you? You, like, spun at the second chicane or something. So, yeah, we'll see how you work on that. Because it is, I'll remind you, again, the final EXFL Imola Tier 2 Grand Prix. So, make the most of it. But it seems like a lot of people don't like the track. But anyway, well done today. Fantastic stuff. And we'll move on to our P3 man, Yannick. Thank you for waiting so patiently. So yeah, at the moment, another podium. Fantastic stuff. You got your first podium last season in Baku after climbing up the grid. And today, it was more just about keeping a cool head, keeping it in a straight line. You had great pace. And what are your thoughts on the race?
Well, to be honest, I already saw that Iridian wants his penalty removed. So maybe it won't be on the podium, but yeah, it was a very good race in terms of pace. But it was also like the most stressful one I've had in a few, as long as I can remember.
As for Iridian's penalty, I really do not know. But either way, you are proving to be one of the most, like Samurai, one of the most consistent top 5 finishers now. It's great to see you up there at the front every week now. Slowly building your way up towards more podiums, maybe even that first win. In qualifying, I really thought you were going to be, I mean, you qualified 5th, but I really thought you were going to be right up there for pole. But it looks like, I mean, it was so close. So obviously, you take what you can get. But you kept well with the train. I think you decided to go the longest out of anyone. You and Toby decided to go one more lap. So you're on the freshest tyres, but the train really was a big issue for the likes of, like I said, Seb and yourself. There was one moment into the hairpin. I think you were fighting Grush. You were trying to fend from him, or he was trying to fend, something like that. And on the exit, it looked like he banged tyres with, I think it was you, and he went off into the wall. What exactly happened from your POV?
Yeah, we were side by side there, and I think it was just one of those things with the physics model of this game, because I was just going straight, and then he touched me and he spun suddenly. So I think that's just what happened. So that's very unfortunate because we were having a very good fight.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that was the case anyway. So that is really unfortunate for Grush. It cost him a few more points than what he got in the end. And then you were fighting away on the last lap. There was a few swaps. Birdie got past Seb, and then Ridian got past you, I believe. And then Yonder was right there. Yonder and Oren from nowhere. They were the two staying out. Everyone else had pitted, and they joined the pack right at the end. And you were having a bit of a fight with your teammate side by side, heading into Degner 1 and 2 with Oren right behind. You just stayed in front. It's good reason too, because right behind you, Oren and Yonder had a mega moment of going side by side through Degner 1. Obviously, Oren ran off wide because I think it's impossible to probably go side by side there. But you just survived. I don't blame you for thinking how stressful that race was. But at the moment, I think either way, it's a great haul of points again. You are really making RB probably the strongest force this season. They are the team to beat. Even without Finn, you are still picking up great points. Yonder's reserving well for the team as well. So, it must get to a point in the season where you obviously focus on the drivers. I don't know what your aims and goals are for that, if you think you can win or where you can place. But how much thought goes to the constructors as well? Because at the moment, RB are definitely the favourite.
Yeah, I think in terms of the constructors, it's of course looking good, and I think if Finn goes to the races, then we'll just have it. I'm not really worrying about that, honestly. And
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, I think Finn will be back next week. He missed last week and today, and then I think he should be fine. But as for the driver, I mean, it's at this rate, it's too early to tell. After the first 3 or so races, I thought, okay, it's just going to be Oren, Grush, and Finn. But now after today, no idea. Samurai is now back in it. Seb could maybe come back through it, and other people who may have just got a bit unlucky today. It changes every week. It's tier 2. Anything can happen. But yeah, at the moment, you are third. We'll see what happens later on. But for now, be happy. All of you be happy on your great results today. You drove fantastically. So yeah, well done Yannick on P3, well done Seb on P2, and well done Samurai on winning the Tier 2 Season 12 Japanese Grand Prix. That has been it then. We will see you next week for the final Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at Imola for Tier 2 and Tier 1.